Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we will analyze one of the most decisive weeks of this war, where Ukraine has shown a military capacity that is completely changing the scenario of the conflict. What you will see here can indicate a historic turn in the war between Ukraine and Russia. If you thought you've seen everything in this conflict, get ready. Because what happened in the last 72 hours shows that Ukraine is not just resisting, is innovating, adapting, and especially winning in fronts that Russia considered safe. Do not forget to leave the like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so as not to lose any update. Let's start. The first event that changed everything was a precision attack that seems out of a science fiction movie. A Ukrainian Su-27, originally Soviet 80s fighter, was completely modified with state-of-the-art American technology. This plane crossed the sky and eliminated in seconds the brain of an entire Russian operation in Kharkiv. How was this possible? The Su-27 has been loaded with GBU-62 bombs, GPS-guided precision armaments with error margin of less than 5 meters. These pumps are designed specifically to destroy highly protected targets, and when they are released, they give neither to evacuate nor to react. The operation was the result of more than 24 hours of intense surveillance. Drones, satellites, and electronic interceptions worked together to completely map the Russian command center. When it was clear that the building was crowded with soldiers, officers, and critical equipment, the order was given: total attack. The explosion hit the building hard, destroying not only the main structure, but also communication antennas, energy generators, nearby tanks, and even a Buchanka, that Russian van used as troop transportation. According to reports from the 3rd Ukrainian Assault Brigade, all enemy troops identified were eliminated. But this was just the beginning of a series of coordinated attacks showing a new phase of this war. While the airstrike drew attention, something even more impressive was happening on the ground. The 63rd Mechanized Brigade of Ukraine began to use a new weapon with brutal accuracy: the Baba Yaga heavy drones. These are not conventional drones. They carry much larger explosives and are able to reach targets with high destructive impact. In recent operations, whole Russian military equipment was destroyed, including armored vehicles and parked artillery parts. Most impressive is the coldness of these operations. Drones arrive silent, flying low, and attack directly in Russian positions. Videos released show powerful explosions and Russian soldiers running in full panic. But Ukraine didn't stop there. Last night, 2 cities in the Kursk region of Russia itself were shaken by explosions. Ilsk and Elgov, both near the Ukrainian border, recorded detonations that caused several casualties among the Russian military. The targets were strategic military facilities. These attacks show something crucial. Moscow is no longer safe, and the war is no longer limited to the front lines. Now she invades Putin's own backyard, demonstrating that Ukraine has drastically expanded its ability to attack positions within Russian territory. Russian losses in the last 24 hours have been simply brutal. According to the Ukrainian larger state, Russia lost 1,250 soldiers, 2 tanks, 5 armored combat vehicles, 54 artillery pieces, 2 multiple rocket launch systems, an anti-aircraft defense system, and 145 drones. This statistic is not just a number, it reveals the rapid pace of Russian military wear. Every day, more Russian soldiers fall, more equipment is destroyed, and Moscow's offensive capacity is progressively worn out. In the Zaporizhzhia region, Ukrainian accuracy reached another level. A recognition drone caught the exact moment when a Russian D-30 artillery and its operating team were completely eliminated by an accurate attack. This demonstrates that the Ukrainian intelligence and counterattack system is working with impressive efficiency. While the bombs fall, a diplomatic game happens in parallel that shows Russian despair. Russia has asked NATO written guarantees that the alliance would no longer expand to the east. The answer was clear and direct: no. NATO's own diplomatic sources stated that this kind of requirement is completely unacceptable. The message is simple: Russia has no power to prevent NATO's advance. Meanwhile, Poland is preparing for a possible direct conflict. The Polish government began building a defensive line along the Kaliningrad border, the Russian militarized enclave. This movement involves heavy infrastructure, advanced surveillance, and troops in full readiness. But here comes the great revelation that can change everything. Ukraine's Ministry of Digital Transformation has officially announced the first successful 100% drone attack mission led by artificial intelligence. The drone traveled 300 kilometers without any human control, launched 2 smaller drones that identified and attacked targets based on images previously stored in memory. No GPS, no remote operator navigation was done entirely by visual recognition. Bridges, roads, crosses, buildings, all analyzed by AI in real time. This new generation of drones is completely immune to Russian electronic war systems. It does not depend on GPS signal or communication with operators. The machine decides, attacks, and comes back all alone. At the same time, the Ukrainian forces toppled the most expensive recognition drone in Russia for the 4th time, the Merlin, designed for long-range missions. Next to him, 2 Maria attack drones were also neutralized with surgical accuracy. Putin is isolated, surrounded by enemies who have learned to fight with superior intelligence. With each new accuracy attack, with each new defeat on the front, Kremlin's authority loses strength inside and outside Russia. State propaganda tries to support the narrative of strength, but cannot hide the signs of imminent collapse. Ukraine is not just resisting, it is innovating, shaping the battlefield of the future with impressive speed and adaptation. If Putin does not react with something far beyond words, the collapse of his military project can no longer be a risk and become a certainty. So guys, what do you think about this turnaround? The war is changing, and Moscow is getting behind. Leave in the comments your opinions about this new phase of the conflict. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell so as not to lose any analysis. Until the next video.